Last thing I want to address here, quick fast, is Angela Yee leaving the Breakfast Club. Okay, I feel like I reported on this. I feel like I'm having deja vu because she said that she was leaving the Breakfast Club like almost 2 months ago or something like that. But as of Monday, there's going to be no more Angela Yee over at the Breakfast Club. It's going to be DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God. I don't know if they're going to be adding a third person. I think from what they were saying on different episodes and different clips that I watch on YouTube, that they're looking for a third person to add to their mix. And Angela Yee is going to be starting her new show on Monday called Rise Up with Angela Yee, right? It was a little bit of weird energy going on, okay, in the room when they were doing her send-off. Like, she was hella drunk, celebrating, and Charlamagne seemed kind of annoyed. Like, y'all been drinking since last night. Y'all drunk. Y'all, may as well just call her a fucking alkie. Which, for the most part, should be fine. She's celebrating. She's leaving. But has this always been an issue for them? You know what I'm saying? I know Angela Yee's been doing lip service for a while, and they get turned up, and there's been multiple times that she's been over there at the studio kind of hungover from the night before because her lifestyle could take her to different bars and places and da-da-da-da. But it's like, has low-key, high-key, they've been had an issue, okay? I feel from the time that the whole Gucci Mane calling her a bitch and all that with the interview with Charlamagne and Gucci Mane solo, when that happened, they did there was things that were never going to be able to be repaired. And from there, the Breakfast Club was over as we knew it, okay? We didn't have to have the Angela Yee announcement years later to know that the Breakfast Club was over from when we seen that shit happen with Gucci Mane, okay? And for the people who don't remember, that's like when Gucci Mane first pulled up on the Breakfast Club, he accused her being Angela Yee, of trying to make a pass at him at one point in time. She denied it on air. It became a thing. I think he kind of like was rude to her on air on that episode or in that interview. And then months later, Charlamagne the God and Gucci Mane had an interview Dolo. And Gucci Mane, at one point in the interview, took some shots at Angela Yee. And Charlamagne didn't defend it. He kind of just stood there mute. And from there was a big rift that was going on. Angela Yee wasn't showing up to work. You were never seeing all three of them in the same place at the same time. And she even went on a couple of different podcasts talking about the issues that they had. Okay? So this wasn't like a small thing. This was like a very big public dispute that those two had. Okay? So from that point in time, there was a lot of proof that they wasn't fucking with each other. And to me, it wasn't like the first time that it was showing that they didn't get along. At that point, to me, it was like exposing a lot of the underbelly of the other shit that's been going on, and that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Also, during the time that was happening, they were going through renegotiations. Okay? I don't know what their contract terms are, but every few years they go through renegotiation. They were celebrating going into the 10th year of the Breakfast Club at one point in time. I think now with Angela Yee leaving, they're probably in their 13th year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 12th. But I remember them going into celebrating the 10th year of the Breakfast Club, and they were asking them around the table, like, in another interview, and I don't remember exactly what interview it was, but they were asking around the table about negotiations and what are you guys doing moving forward? And Envy was on some, I'm staying here forever. Like, Envy's locked in. You know what I'm saying? Charlamagne was more on is like, yeah, I love the job, but you never know. You know, I got so much different things going on, and this is before his HBO show or the different shows that he, started having and his book deal and his podcast deal unfolded. This is all before that. But they were like very vague, except for Envy, about what their future was going to be with that show. And Angela Yee, to me, had the most telling type of thing when she was just like, oh, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? She never gave a definitive answer of what she seen what the next 5 years would be. And they ended up celebrating and moving along. And they were like, yeah, we're celebrating 10 years. They got a radio award. They got all types of things to make that glue, you know, kind of bring them together, even though there was that riff, major riff. But I seen that shit was never going to be the same. Okay? As an avid watcher of The Breakfast Club on YouTube, the chemistry in the room was just not there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times, Angela Yee, because Angela Yee sits like right across from Charlamagne in the studio, they won't even look at each other when they're doing the reports or when they're talking or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a weird energy that was always in the room at that point. So when the announcement came down the pipeline that Angela Yee is leaving The Breakfast Club and having her own show, that shit didn't surprise me at all. And it also gave them an opportunity to like really now, after she didn't leave right away, watch that shit degenerate right in front of our eyes. Like she's talking about when she's leaving, she's gonna be playing fuck nigga free. If that's your sentiment when you're leaving, two other colleagues, men that you worked with, you're fuck nigga free. In my mind, I'm like, so what? I'm a fuck nigga? What's the deal, fam? You know what I'm saying? In front of the camera, they're going to play it off. Nobody's going to confront anybody. But you know when them cameras go off, they still don't confront each other. They just stop talking. They go back to what they're doing. And then when the music stops and they come back to from their break, then they act like everything's cool. But I would love to be a fly in the wall. It's not possible anymore. But I've loved to have been a fly on the wall in between their music breaks when they cut to a break on the radio station over at the Breakfast Club. Just to feel that fucking tension in the room when nobody's talking until it's time to actually talk because they're paid to talk. You know what I'm saying? But no banter amongst each other like, hey, that was cool. Hey, yeah. Oh, that was funny what you said. None of that shit. The only time we talk is when it's time to talk. Okay, red lights on. Okay, hey, kiki, ha, 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 that was funny, Charlamagne. Right? All the sus jokes, all that shit. That shit only goes down once the music stops and they cut back from the break. Trust me when I tell you that.
We love hip hop.